The producers of Harvesting Happiness podcast proudly present Positively Contagious, the mental health survival kit for the COVID-19 pandemic. Positively Contagious with Lisa Cypers, Kamen, and Andrea Minghelli features tips and tools for staying sane and emotionally fit while sheltering in place. Give us 9 minutes or less, and we'll give you smart and simple strategies for your well-being. This is Lisa Cypers, Kamen, host of Harvesting Happiness, along with my producer, Andrea Minghelli, who has come out and into the light after years of producing this show. We are talking about Positively Contagious, what it takes to combat coronavirus from the perspective of emotional fitness. We're talking about mental muscle toning, and today's focus is staying connected. So, Andrea, you and I had talked about ways in which we are staying connected with our loved ones and the world at large and community when we are either locked down in our homes or choosing to isolate at this time. Give me one of your strategies, and then I'm going to give you one of mine.
I have been making good old-fashioned phone calls, whether it's checking in on the elders in my family to just see how they're doing and, give them some encouragement, or reconnecting with friends that I haven't had an actual conversation with in a while. And just, a check-in, hey, how you doing? Everything okay? And, infusing a little bit of humor. There's something about hearing someone's voice. Texting is fine, but there's so much more that you get when you hear the tone, the cadence of someone's speech, the way their words are landing on your ears. You can get a better feel for how they're doing.
I was watching TV the other night, and they had a little YouTube clip on depicting comedian Mel Brooks, who's elderly at this point, behind the glass at his home, and his son, he has a young adult son, who was coming over to visit him, and Mel Brooks, in his funny way, is telling the kid to go home, because if you don't go home, you're going to wipe out a whole generation of amazing older comedians. And he rattled off Alan Arkin, Dick Van Dyke, and he's like, go home, go home, go home. So it was very funny and very relevant in that we want to stay connected. We want to have, our relationships feel strong. We want to see the people that we love, but we can do this in a way that keeps the elderly safe, anybody who is compromised immunologically safe. One of the strategies that we've come up with in our family, because we are separated in different states right now, is having virtual dinners. So we FaceTime while we're having our meals, and that's a good
idea.
Yeah, it is kind of a fun idea. I mean, it's a little bit, scary, like the virtual dinner that what if we come to that we're not sitting around the table, but making sure that we're not socially isolated so we stave depression is a really, really important thing.
Yes. And that's a very wise use of technology.
I think so. Being responsible with the technology, being creative with it. Another thing that we do at these dinners, because everybody has their devices, is the conversation using the devices as part of the conversation to do research and present facts and information about something completely off topic to coronavirus. We don't need to have that as the center of the dinner discussion.
Yes, that's a good point, because if we allow it to, it will certainly take over the day, especially with many of us having more available time on our hands.
Yeah. So staying connected, reaching out to people that you haven't seen or heard from in a long time. There's been a lot of that going on in our home, which is really nice. Just asking people, how are you doing? How are you being? How are you feeling? Do you need anything? What are you up to? How do you pass your days? Getting information from how others are struggling with this or thriving in spite of it. It's one of the things that I've been writing about is that it's a we thing. It's not a me thing.
Absolutely. This is bringing about a genuine sense of community in many, many cases.
So when we talk about being connected for our little ones, for our kids, the millennials are doing a pretty good job of figuring out ways to remain connected. What about the younger kids? Are you encouraging yours to continue to talk or reach out or have video chats with their friends?
Yes, absolutely. And my daughter, who's 16, she's actually very good about this. She, under normal circumstances, will text a little bit, but she prefers to have a conversation or be face to face. So, of course, being face to face right now isn't the safest option. So she's also been following suit and having more conversations or more video chat. And there'll be several of them on at a time. And I've even done the same for my 8-year-old. I'm friends with the mothers of a lot of his friends. So we've just been arranging, video chat. And that seems to be easing that need for the social contact.
It's elemental to our well-being. People who have good, connected social relationships tend to do better. They report themselves to be happier. And just because we are physically separated does not mean we need to be disconnected. This is Lisa Cypers Kamen, host of Harvesting Happiness, and my producer, Andrea Minghelli. I'm so glad we get to do these positively contagious mini episodes. We will be back with another one soon.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks for joining us on this special episode of Positively Contagious. This is Lisa Cypers Kamen and producer Andrea Minghelli signing off for now. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay positive. Don't forget to tune in for our regular consciously prepared brain food on Harvesting Happiness, wherever you get your podcasts. To learn more about Harvesting Happiness consulting services, please visit harvestinghappiness.com. Get social with us on Facebook at Harvesting Happiness, on Twitter at HH Talk Radio, and on Instagram at HH_Talk Radio.